everyone, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo. Today is Monday, January 20th, and because today is a Monday, it's time for What Sold on eBay. Guys, this week we're just going to jump right on into the highlights from the week and skip the Instagram photos. I didn't put one up every day, and to be quite honest, last week's sales were pretty bad. Things were really slow for us, and we didn't have a lot of sales. We didn't even really hit our average every day, and part of that was because I got really sick. I got the flu, and I wasn't listing, and part of it's probably still just that slow time of year between Christmas and tax returns. What's weird is things picked up over the weekend on both Poshmark and eBay. And I had already been sick, since Thursday. So I basically had 4 days where I was out of commission. And then things started to pick up. But anyway, sales were pretty bad last week. We're going to talk more about that on my live show tomorrow night. And how to stay motivated and keep doing what you do. Even when sales are slow or life smacks you in the face. I think everyone I know, personally here in Pittsburgh and all across the United States, other resellers I know and friends I have back home and stuff, I feel like everyone I know right now is sick. Everyone has the flu. Doesn't matter where you live. I feel like everyone's getting sick. So life just happens sometimes. And so we're just going to jump on in. I picked out some highlights of the week, you guys. I got two items to show you that were kind of disappointments, but we'll talk about them when we get to them. You can kind of hear that my voice is not the best, so I'm going to try to get through this one quickly this week. But if I go too quickly or I gloss over anything, you guys have any further questions, you guys can always leave comments down below or hit me up in the Facebook group and I can respond to you there. Let's start with the plush, because they're my favorite. Shopkins Mini Minty 7-inch plush. Shopkins are one of those that sometimes they're a BOLO and sometimes they're not. So I pick them up if I find them cheap enough. This one was 99 cents at the Goodwill. I'll pick them up and bring them home to find out. And then you kind of learn that way. This one was 99 cents. Sold for $10.31 and shipped first class in a poly bag. Dandy is technically a BOLO, but sometimes you'll have a one or two that just aren't good, and this is an example of that. Most Dandy plush are going to go for $15 to $20 range, and some even more than that. This little one, he's been around for a long time. He sat for a while, so his price obviously got lowered over time. He came out of a bag, so he's probably 3 years old at this point. He's been around for a long time. He came out of a bag of plush that we got at a thrift store we used to go to a long time ago that we don't frequent anymore. And the bag was a couple bucks. The plush that we could see in it that were worth money, like the Disney and the Build-A-Bears, sold right away, paid for the bag. So this little guy's pure profit. Not much, but he's profit. So he sold for $9 and he shipped first class in a poly bag. Here we have a vintage Rodney and his reindeer friends. This is Rhonda. These were sold at Burger King in the 80s. And I actually remember I had the whole set when I was a kid. So when I found this at the Goodwill, I was all excited. There was some nostalgia with this particular plush. She was 50 cents, and I accepted a best offer of $12 on her, and she shipped first class. Here we have a Rudolph the Reindeer pillow pet. Super cute. 50 cents at the Goodwill, and it was an official Rudolph, the original television classic. He was 50 cents and sold for best offer of $13.50, and he shipped first class. He just had to go in a little bit bigger of a poly bag than we normally use the 9x12 for clothing and most Plush. We have some larger ones sitting around. If you haven't seen my video on how we get our animals ready to ship them to their new forever homes and the different sizes of boxes we use and poly bags, I'll have that pop up at the end of the video for you guys, and you can watch that. And in that video I do talk about all the different types of bags and how we determine when something goes in a poly bag versus a box. Alright, that was all the Plush. We only sold 4 Plush this week and 2 were Christmas. Online sales never fail to surprise me. Alright, so now we're looking at one of my disappointments. Some of you might remember this. Keith and I found it at the Goodwill for 99 cents. It's a size large, so that's a pretty good size for men's clothing. Large, extra large, and that. And it was so super unique and just cute. It had an all over graphic of the sriracha, and I know I'm saying that wrong, but this is a very popular hot sauce. A lot of people like this hot sauce. And then it had takeout containers and chopsticks, and we listed it originally in the middle of summer when people were looking for tank tops. It took a long time to sell, and it only sold for a best offer of 10 at the end of the day. So $10, but that just goes to show you that not everything you guys purchase is going to sell. And that's just the way it is in sales. Even in retail stores, not everything they bring in is going to sell. And that's why you see retail stores having blowouts sometimes of, 75% off, final clearance, all must go. Because at the end of the day, not everything is going to sell. And so if you run a business or you're selling stuff, that's just something you have to accept. And sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. We could go out tomorrow and find another shirt just like this with the same kind of graphics, and it could sell overnight for 15 to 20 bucks. So you want to learn how to source really good items and the better brands, but that's not always a guarantee either, because part of selling online is listing your items at the right time, or sharing them or promoting them or whatever you do to give them a boost on searches at the right time, that the exact right buyer looking for your item in that size or that has any kind of interest in those kinds of items, and it comes across our feed at the right time. So you're trying to get the best inventory you can, but it's also kind of being in the right place at the right time. And some things just don't sell. Some things you're going to end up having to clearance out or eventually pull from your store. And then you'll learn that the ones that were like, well, that's probably just something that just didn't sell, versus that was bad. That's a no-lo. I'm never going to buy that again. Because we will still go after shirts with cool graphics. These were a little disappointing too. These were vintage jeans. They're definitely 80s. You can see they are high-waisted, tapered leg. Looking back, it's probably the photos. These are a little older. This is before I was taking the full-length jeans photos. I think this was when I had the Android S9 and the lighting wasn't as good maybe. So this one's probably the photographs. They were only 99 cents though, so they were worth the risk. They sold for $18.81 with shipping. This was a pair that I dropped the price on by $8, and then instead of having free shipping, charged $8 shipping. So they were still the same price basically, but just a different viewpoint. So I would say the Stefano is a no-lo. I probably would never pick these up again, but I still will look for cool shirts with great graphics. Here's a pair of women's Chico's jeans. These I picked up clearly because they're Chico's and they're unique. I usually, you guys know, probably have already heard this, I try to stick with the So Lifting and the So Slimming line with Chico's, unless it's a bigger size or something unique. Obviously these were unique. They have the paisley print. These were 99 cents at the Goodwill. They sat around long enough that I also dropped their price by $5 and added calculated shipping. These didn't weigh over a pound, so they did not ship in a padded flat. So what I did was put the weight in, calculated charged, calculated first class shipping, and dropped the price from 20 to 15. So the total price for these was $21.57. Here's a pair of Paige. These are pretty. I like the dark wash flare jeans. That's just the kind I like, my style, but I love jeans that look like this. Paige is still a BOLO, but you gotta realize it's not gonna go for 40 and 50 bucks like it used to. It's a higher end bread and butter or a low end BOLO, if that's how you want to think of it. These Paiges were 99 cents at the Goodwill, and they sold for $28.94, and they shipped in a padded flat. If I didn't tell you, these Chicos were also 99 cents. These boots came from a fill-a bag. So at one of the yard sales we went to over the summer, it was $2 a bag. I managed to get these boots inside their box, inside a bag. It was just regular plastic grocery sack size bags. So they weren't that large bags, but it was $2 a bag. I got these boots and another pair of high heels in their box, both shoe boxes, inside one bag, and crammed a bunch of clothes in around them. So these were like 10 cents maybe after all is said and done, if you had counted everything in the bag. I got them because they were unique looking. They're high heel boots. They're nice looking shoes if you like to wear boots and heels, and because they were fill a bag. Anytime you tell me I can put as much as I can into a bag for a price, I'm going to get some stuff in there. You better believe it. So these sold for $23.44, and the buyer paid shipping additional to that for priority shipping. And here we have a purse. Clearly that's a purse. It was 99 cents at the Goodwill. I just picked it up because it was pretty. I thought it was pretty. It's nice and clean looking. Doesn't have any defects. It was, you know, pleather. 99 cents. Sold for $24. And they pay for shipping in addition to that. And it shipped priority in a box. In a free priority box. Let me get a drink of water real quick, guys. Alright, so we sold 23 remotes this week. So it comes out to almost 3 a day. So our remotes are really up there, between 1.5% and 2% sell-through rate. So even when our sales were bad, we were selling remotes every single day, and lots of them. They're doing really well. They're holding up pretty steady. And I talked about this last week in my live show. I really think that whatever happened in October with the item specifics, specifically to clothing, hasn't been fixed yet. Because our plush consistently sell and our remotes are doing really, really well. Obviously, electronics always do better than used clothing. But we haven't seen our historical 0.5% sell-through rate that we hit on a pretty consistent basis, even through summer slowdowns in the past. We haven't seen since last summer, and after that debacle in October, it seemed like everything just kind of went downhill and we never recovered. Q4 was disappointing. But meanwhile, plush and remotes are doing well, so I think it's the clothing, and I don't think it's fixed yet. That's just my opinion. And then let me put that out there. This is just my opinion and my allegations. Don't be running around telling people. Star and Flippin' Hippos said they never fixed the problem, because we don't know for sure. They're claiming they fixed it, but I'm telling you from a standpoint of comparing this Q4 to past Q4s and just our historical sell-through rates, I don't think it's been fixed, and that's just my opinion. But we used to sell higher volume when we had only clothing and plush in the store. We added remotes so that we could add even more volume and more profit to our business, and all the remotes have done is hold us afloat and keep us at our normal numbers while the clothes weren't selling. So, you know, a year ago when all we had was clothing, we didn't have remotes yet. we sold more volume and more overall, monetarily and profit-wise. So let me get off my soapbox and take my foil hat off, guys. My voice is really starting to go, and I got 3 things left to show you. So our remotes are doing really, really well, and I picked out 3 to show you this week. If you're at thrift stores, church sales, garage sales, yard sales, anywhere you can find remotes, you can always keep an eye out for them. If they're under 50 cents, $1, I would pick up any and all that you find. You guys know I tell you that they sell for anywhere between $7 and $60 depending on the remote. We bought ours in such bulk that we're selling all of them regardless of what the price point is. But if you're buying them one by one in the wild, you want to probably focus more towards the $18 and above bracket or $15 and above, depending on how cheap you get them. So every week I just try to pick out a couple that are in that price range for you guys to look at. This is a genuine Panasonic. It's a DVD VCR TV remote control. And you guys, our store is linked in our description box. You can always go to our store, look through our solds, pull these model numbers if you want them for your own purposes of when you're out thrifting, you know, kind of like a BOLO list of remotes. We have a Philips DVD VCR remote control here. Model numbers in the title. And this one sold for $17.50 best offer. The Philips sold for $16.87, and this genuine Magnavox sold for $16.50 best offer. This is one of those Roku remotes. We sell these all the time. They just, as soon as we get them listed, they're moving out the door. So these Roku remotes are something you definitely want to look for. These seem to move really fast, and they have a higher price point as well. All of our remotes were around 52 cents a piece, since we bought 3,000 of them at one time in a wholesale lot. Alright guys, let me know as always what you think down in the comments below, or if you have any more questions or anything you wanted to know about this video in particular. If you have questions about reselling in general or Poshmark, you can email me at flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com. I am going to be starting a new series on Fridays, pre-recorded series where I answer questions from our email. I was supposed to start it last week, but I got sick and I didn't have enough questions accumulated yet to justify a video. So if you have any questions at all, guys, AMA, ask me anything, flippinhipposhelp@gmail.com, and I will be answering those in videos to come. I will be reading off first name at least when I do the email, so if you want to remain anonymous, let me know in the email that you want to remain anonymous. If you're not in our Facebook group, please join us. We have a really good time in there. It's a great group full of really wonderful people from the reselling community. There's always something going on in there. Special giveaways that are only for group members. I have special threads in the announcement section for people to ask questions. And when I answer questions, my top priority is our Facebook group. I go in there first and I answer questions there. I look for where I'm tagged and I take care of that before emails and before YouTube comments. Because the people in our Facebook group are typically also subscribers on the YouTube channel and have supported us for a very long time, and we are very, very grateful to our group members. So I do make them a priority and take care of them first, and they get special giveaways and coupon codes for things that I don't give out to the general public. And it's free to join the Facebook group, by the way. Link is in the description box. And you can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm at flippinhippos across all social media. Thank you guys for watching tonight. Thank you so much for putting up with my terrible, terrible voice and the shortness of the video, but I still wanted to show you guys what sold this past week. So thank you for watching, and go be productive. Go make some money. You guys are the best. Bye.